What's up, guys? Another monster here, anothermonsterproductions.com. And today I wanted to do a rundown video of how I made this lo-fi hip-hop track. The other day I posted this in a Facebook group and I got a comment asking if I had any advice on how to get the sound. So I was just figured I'd make a video walking through my process of what I did with this. So first of all, this is something I usually don't produce this type of music. I got inspired to do this actually by this video I was watching on YouTube, In The Mix. Shout out. He had, I'll put a link to the video that I watched of his, but basically he was doing a lo-fi hip hop video and he included a sample pack. And so I went ahead and downloaded the sample pack. It's like a crackle, hiss, kick, snare, and a hi-hat. And the samples all work really well together, and it was just kind of a good place to start. And then I just kind of took it from there. So basically here, let's take a listen as is. And I'm going to mute that. So yeah, the samples are sounding pretty good. By the way, I do want to mention I'm recording this in mono because I have to. So unfortunately, you're not getting the full stereo field of everything that's going on. But you'll get the idea, and I'll kind of explain, you know, what I had going on to like make it sound big and wide. So, but anyway, actually, let's take a listen to the whole track. Okay, so that gives you an idea of what we're working with here. As far as the drums go, going back to that, I just, you know, played out a pattern, put the snare a little bit before the beat, took the hat back just a little bit behind the beat to kind of give it more groove. So that's a little hack you guys can do with your drums to kind of make them feel more real. Moving on from the drums, the next thing I did was piano, and I basically just played out this pattern. See if I can find it. So I played out a pattern here. Actually, I didn't even play it out. I drew it out in this piano roll just as is on the computer. And I messed with the velocity, messed with the notes, brought them back and stuff just to kind of give it more of that real played out feel, as you can see going on here. So let's take a listen. So then what I did was I put on this vinyl plugin, iZotope Vinyl. This is a free plugin. I'll put a link in the description of the video so you guys can download this. But I use this plugin a lot in this track. I actually recently just got it and I was experimenting with it. So it's part of the reason I made this track is because I was having fun with this new plugin. But basically what it does is it allows you to simulate a record. So you have different eras that you can change the sound of, which is pretty cool. And then different things here to kind of give it more. So like mechanical noise. Here, I'll go ahead and show you what everything does. So anyway, you get the idea. So basically what I did mainly was just add a little bit of mechanical noise to give it more of that record feel. And then I added the warp depth to give it, you know, that kind of speeding up, slowing down sound, just make it more like sound like an actual sample. So the next thing I did was I added a pad, which unfortunately I use DirectWave, and I just started using DirectWave because I have been using FL Studio 12 32-bit, and I used a lot of sound fonts in this track, because I know I have a lot of sound fonts from like way back in the day, which kind of have that lo-fi like sound already in them. So I found a pad that I liked there, but unfortunately I'm not familiar with DirectWave enough to know that when I saved the project and exited out of it and then just brought it back, the samples are no longer in DirectWave. So if anybody knows how to use DirectWave, actually let me know. How do I save a sample in there so that it doesn't go away when I save the track? But anyway, for those of you who don't know, DirectWave allows you to play sound fonts and stuff using a 64-bit DAW. Well, I mean, obviously it's an FL Studio plugin. So if you're using FL Studio 20 and you're trying to run sound fonts, then you can use DirectWave to do that. So, but basically at that point, I exported the sample, or exported the piano part, and chopped it up a little bit, as you can see here, to kind of give it like that sound as if I were to have actually sampled a real song. So let's take a listen. And then at that point, I tried adding some stereo shaper to it. I decided it wasn't sounding wide enough. So I copied and pasted this down here. And then I just panned one left and one right all the way, 100%. And then I just kind of moved this one back just a tiny bit. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And then I had some other samples going on in here as well. Oh, I do have this bell sample. So it's really, you can't even really hear it necessarily. It's just kind of there to add a little bit more ambience and that sort of thing. And the last thing I had is the sub. So this sub is pretty awesome. And what I did, what you're hearing with the ducking, is I just automated it. I automated the volume on here. So it's ducking out every time the kick hits. Just a little side chaining. And the sample that I used, I really like this sample a lot. It's Heavy Moog. It's harmless. It's just a preset. Heavy Moog right here. So it's a great sounding bass. The thing I love about this is you can actually, hang on, see if I can get a piano roll. You can control on the velocity how the bass sounds. So if you go up here, it gives it more of like it has a harsh attack, but then you have more of a sub bass sound. A little bit more distortion down there. So that's pretty cool. Great sounding sub bass. So that about wraps it up, guys. Hopefully I covered everything. I purposely left the drums pretty dry sounding, as far as like I didn't use a lot of, or any reverb really. I didn't use any delay except for this one delay tail right here on this drum fill. But aside from that, I mean, no reverb, no delay on the drums. I think I may have added a little bit of reverb on the piano sample, maybe on the pad, just to give it some depth. But yeah, that's about it. So if you guys found any value out of this video, please go ahead, smash the like button. If you have any questions about anything, go ahead, leave that in a comment down below, and I'll try my best to answer any questions you may have. Subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit the bell notification. And until next time, guys, I'll see you in the next video.